Hey everyone, it's Barbara Teckle. How are you? It is the last day of September. Can you believe it? The last day of September. I'm kind of in awe that it really has gone by so fast. The whole year really feels like it's gone by fast, but maybe that's because I'm getting older and it seems the older I get, the faster time goes. But my husband was just telling me this morning that he heard that we had 17 foggy days this month. We live in Wisconsin. And as I was thinking about that, as I was coming on to do this video and share some animal wisdom oracle guidance for you for this week, I thought, well, maybe that has a little to do with the message as well. So today, the two decks that I worked with to do this reading are the Power Animal Oracle cards by Dr. Stephen Farmer. This is probably one of the very first decks that I ever purchased. I should say animal oracle decks. I'm trying to think what even my very first deck was. I don't know right now, but I have about 20 some decks as of now, and it continues to grow because I have a little bit of an addiction to these. But so we're going to work with the Power Animal Oracle cards, and then also the Spirit Animal Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. So I'm going to start with what the anchor card is for the week. And the anchor card being, what is it do we really need to pay attention to this week? And this is the card that I drew from the Power Animal Oracle deck, which is deer. And there is a word on there that says Pathfinder. And then also a message at the bottom, I should hold it here so I'm not right in front of the microphone, that says, trust your instincts to guide you through the situation. So what I do when I pull the cards for these readings is I pull the card and then I journal. I journal what I'm getting. And as I thought about sharing this with all of you today, I thought about where is it that we, or you, me, all of us are second guessing ourselves on a decision that maybe we need to make or a change that we're contemplating. So I think that deer really helps to remind us the importance of something that I am truly all about, and I'm a work in progress myself on this, is about pausing on our path when we're trying to make a next decision for our life and really taking the time to tune in and listen instead of just what we tend to do, and I do this myself too, and I'll share a situation just a little bit, but when we tend to look so far down the path that we can freak ourselves out and start worrying about all these things that may never come to fruition, right? So our anchor card with the deer this week is to trust our instincts and don't second guess ourselves. And again, to not look too far down the path and let fear take over and all those what ifs which can paralyze us. And then what happens, it makes it hard for us to even take one small step forward on our path. And then we end up staying stuck, right? So, doing a little research about deer, I found out that deer actually adapt very easy to any habitat and any situation that they are put into, which I thought, well, that's really a good message for us also. That even though when we're in this contemplation stage of making a decision or making a change, we're not always going to know all the variables. We can certainly try our best to make sure we've got everything covered. But part of moving along the path of our life is there is going to be change, and we're going to have to adapt, and we have to learn how to adapt because everything isn't going to always go 100% smoothly. And that's what life is about, right? It is about adapting and learning to change as we continue our journey. So also the deer's antlers are like antennae, which is a great reminder for us to stay tuned in to our thoughts, to be, tuned into our heart and really listen. And deer is also about gentleness and innocence. And that can help us in whatever situation that we're dealing with. Instead of feeling stuck, to be curious about it and try to see this situation with new eyes. And again, everything isn't going to be perfect. So I know what else I was going to share with you. So it's interesting that I pulled this card today for you, and it's also a message for me, because as I was getting ready this morning to come out here into my writing cottage, I found myself going down this rabbit hole of worry and fear about some changes that my husband and I may make, somewhere down the road, just thinking about where we want to be when we move into the next phase of our lives, as he starts to make decisions about winding down a little more in his work. So I found myself, really getting fearful about making certain changes with our home possibly, and, where we want to travel, where we want to possibly end up. Do we want to stay here? We're just not really sure. So I found my place. I'm on the path right now. This is where I'm at. This is where my life is right now. And it's okay to look down there and to start contemplating and thinking about, what is my life going to perhaps look like, in 3, 4, 5, 6 years from now. So, but I had to remind myself to not get too far down that path of the what ifs. And because the more that I did that and I worried about that, the more I found myself in this place of fear. And I got really scared. And I'm like, I can't make it. There's no way I can do any of this. And I thought, no, wait a minute. I don't need to put myself down there yet. We're just in this contemplation stage, and just to be curious. And it's fun to just explore what the possibilities are. So deer was a great reminder for me, and I hope it was a great reminder for you, whatever you might be contemplating or a decision that you are looking at making. Trust your instincts, and just be open. Just be open and be curious about where your path might take you. All right, so what's our next right action as we stay tuned into our inner thoughts and we give contemplation to what perhaps is next for our lives? Or again, if there's a decision you're trying to make that you're not quite sure about. And this time I worked with the Spirit Animal Oracle, and I pulled Parrot Spirit. And it says, watch your words. But I actually pulled it in reverse. And in this deck, it actually means protection. And I always like that because it's a little extra nudge from Spirit that, we aren't alone in our decisions that we make. Whatever you believe in, God, universe, source, we have this amazing energy that is supporting us and is there for us. And to remember that, because sometimes we're in the middle of a difficult decision, we can, again, get paralyzed with fear and think that we're all alone, and we're not. But I just have to say, when I pulled this card and I looked at the parrot, and it looks like the parrot is trying to take flight. And right away I heard, don't take flight too soon. And then also the number on the card is 45. So in numerology, 45 is, you would take the 4 and the 5 and add it together, which is a 9. And 9 is all about endings. And it's all about dealing with our emotions and cleaning up all that gunk, all that worry, all that fear. Where does that come from? And just cleaning that up and dealing with that. And then wondering about, and then letting go, right? So in order to move forward with more confidence down our path, I'm looking because I can see my husband walking out to his work shed. So in order to move ahead with more confidence down the path with a decision we're making or something we're contemplating, it's really important to process all our feelings and emotions. I can say this with so much more confidence and conviction than ever before in my life, because this is something I really learned during a difficult time in my life in 2018. So it's important to process all our feelings and take the time to listen to all those feelings and acknowledge them all, not just ignore the ones that are hard to look at. And listen to where it is that we may be, where is it we're being critical with ourselves, or we're allowing fear to take over, right? So again, as I started out talking about the cards for this week, I shared with you how I journal, what I get, the insight that I'm getting from the cards when I first pull them. So journaling is a great way to express all the feelings that we're feeling about a particular situation in our lives. And when you can see it, at least for me, when I can see it written out on paper, I'm actually able to see where I'm coming from, a place of fear. And I can also then see where there is possibility and hope. And I get excited about those things that I may have been worrying about. I see more possibility within them. So isn't that what life is all about in the path, Pathfinder and Deer? It really is about pausing often and listening and tuning in so that we can gain confidence and then take another small steps forward. Because we don't have to run down the path, right? And then lose sight of everything that we might have seen and learned along the way. Because every time we stop and we pause, we gain new insight. And that helps us to make that next step forward on our path. And in this way, we can flow with more ease than being in this state of constriction and angst. And then it makes it more difficult to actually have clarity and know where we're supposed to go next with whatever situation that we're dealing with. So this week is Deer, Pathfinder. Trust your instincts. Take the time this week to really tune in and listen to everything that you're feeling and you're thinking about it. And again, journal that. Journal that, or maybe meditate, whatever it is that works for you, that brings you into that place of stillness and calmness, to really give thought to everything that you're contemplating. And then not to take flight too soon, not to, I think we do have a tendency to do that, is when it gets uncomfortable, we just want to bypass all those feelings and just jump to the next stage. But it's really important to contemplate everything and be with it all as we continue on our journey. So I hope that was helpful for you this week. I know it was definitely helpful for me, and I'm going to definitely sit in contemplation with all of this too. So if you enjoyed this, let me know. If it was of help, I'd sure like to know that as well. And I will see you again next time. Have a great week, everyone. Bye-bye.